because there's always a gap. I don't care who you are or how good you are. There's always a gap because what we say and what people hear are different.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen, to the Campfire Capitalism podcast. Welcome to the campsite. We're going to talk about some good stuff today. We've had some really good episodes. The last episodes from Viral Loops Part 1. We also had an impromptu coaching session with Josh. Obviously, Josh just secured the bag. One episode later, big shout out for that, for a five-figure close. What's up, man? That's huge. And today we're going to have a little fun today. Today we're going to talk about Viral Loops, but we're going to put a little remix to it, a slight remix to it, because I think that the energy is super important, just as the structure and the strategy is. And energy is everything, guys. And so I want to label this energy that I want to remix into this Viral Loop discussion under the mask of play the game, stay in the game, and life's a game. You guys ready to talk about that?
Well, I mean, I have a question first and foremost. Where's this remix coming from? What have you been into? What are you smoking? Jesus Christ!
Oh man, I am high on my own supply of life. I guess first of all, Josh coming in crushing it. That lit me up. I extended I've been sitting for a month on this like contract extension, and I just keep hearing Heather's voice in my head. Profit doesn't equal purpose. Secure the bag. I got payroll, right? I got to take my emotions and my feelings out. So I was like, shit, if I'm going to do this contract, I might as well make it lucrative for myself. So I ended up doing a minimum retainer with a ton of upside in it. I won't say minimum. I mean, it's pretty much the same pro rate.
It's your base minimum.
Super base with tons of like upsells baked into it with like, recruiting and, other things that's more a la carte. So I think the total contract and also a performance incentive. So like going to be pretty much turning a customer development team into an outbound business development team over the next 6 to 12 months. So I'm like, shit, if I'm going to do all this work and, all this training and change these lives and secure the bag, I might as well put a performance incentive in there for myself. And its total value of the contracts, I think like $120,000 for the year. So I'm ready to run. Base is like 24,000. So that's nice. So I'm getting, 24. So 11 times 2,400. Yeah. I'm super stoked for that. Then I was like, man, like I was thinking with the pod, I was like, shit, man, like what else can we build in public, right? I just love the amount of value that we're providing to our audience, and I just want to keep giving value. So I'm pretty excited to jump in today. So that's why I'm high on my own supply today, Heather.
Okay, so I'm going to bring up something that everybody should know. If you've ever been anywhere at any time, you will know it. A good entrepreneur always says, don't listen to what I'm saying, watch what I'm doing. Now, in this case, I want you to listen to what Destin just said about that contract and watch what he's doing. $120,000 overall net worth of a contract with a base of $24,000. That is what we call a leveraged and loaded weapon. When you are so incredibly, like without a shadow of a doubt, sure what results you're causing, when you're causing them, how you're causing them, how the numbers are going to come in. When you're sure, and that takes a while. If you're new in this, like it'll take you a minute to get super dialed in on your metrics. But when your metrics are so sound, you can leverage some of the best paydays on performance-based incentives.
I love performance contracts. We're gonna have another episode. We're gonna have another episode on bottom line versus top line, because I was thinking of it. I was like, man, like this year, like there is so much upside in the contracts that I have, and I'm not paying, like my overhead is like super minimal. So the profit is going to be so bomb if I do my thing. And I'm like, man, so many entrepreneurs, business owners that I know, like that I speak with, like everyone's like obsessed with top line, like how much money I make this year, revenue. But then when you like look at the bottom line, like, well, how much you bring in, and like some of them they make no money. Some of them are like, in the red, which is okay if you're, if you have something on the back end the following year or in the pipeline, but or even the key metrics of 33% profit margin, right? I mean, I know that's super popular with scaling, right? If you do $1 million, you should at least have, $333,000 in profit. But I'm a big fan of bottom line. Bottom line, we're gonna have a whole other episode of that. Like, I don't want to do it today because we can go in depth and talk about like systems and mindset and negotiations. I mean, there's so much involved in that. But isn't that fun? Isn't that crazy? I think you'll love that conversation, Heather, because you probably have a lot to say about that. But
tons. You also got to remember, like, be careful what you have to say about whether or not there's profit in it. Like, profit and revenue are two very different things. Not to mention the fact that I am a firm believer in operating in the red for the first 5 years. That is a separate conversation, and quite honestly, more than anything, a tax strategy.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Like this year, like I'm going to make profit, but I'm reinvesting every single dollar in the business. Like I'm not paying myself this year. I'm gonna live off my trade money.
Trade revenue.
This year. Yeah. Like that's it.
I mean,
all the money in the business is being reinvested.
My first $1 million year, we were in the red. We broke $1 million, but as our company's operating expenses, we operated in the red. I also invested close to $500,000 in marketing growth. So of course we did. Now, operations, like our profit margin on our product itself, right close to like 68%. And we still operated in the red. That's because I have no interest in giving Uncle Sam any of my money. So.
I don't want to get into top line, bottom line, because we're getting into a black hole. We're getting into a black hole because I see. I know. Feel this is going. So look out for that episode. Who knows? It might be 20, 150. Might be the next episode. Who knows? But it's in the vault. So let's get back to these viral loops, man. I mean, we don't have to go too deep. I really want to just stick to the play energy. So Josh, I mean, let's unpack this since this deal is kind of fresh. Like, did you talk to us about your energy, man? Like, what kind of energy did you bring into this call?
Going into the call, I'd say I brought more of a laid back, just curious. Like one thing that you guys said yesterday that really stuck out to me was like, just talk as if it's like your best friend. So I got on the call and was like, hey, what's up, man? How you doing? Just let it go. Just like, yeah. Before we get on, I just want to know more about you. So my energy was, I feel like it was more personable. Because before that, I was actually very anxious. I mean, just for the listeners and being very transparent, I was extremely anxious. And what I just had to do to ground myself was like, I just, just prayed and got myself centered and just was like, hey, man, it's going to be what it's going to be. There's no point of you overstressing it. Just give it your best effort. And, whatever happens, don't attach yourself to the end result of it having to look like, what you think it's going to look like. Just show up, be curious, add value where necessary, add as much as you. Sorry, Heather's challenged me about saying.
No, you're good. Yeah. You don't have to take it off the board anymore.
Gotcha.
You're not abusing it.
Okay.
You were abusing it. Your nervous energy abuses the word value like it's an ugly redheaded stepchild.
Yeah, I need to pull out that. We're working on some synonyms. But yeah, just being able to step up and really just add value as much as possible, without necessarily giving everything away. But just give as much as I can that keeps the person interested, or at least answers maybe their question, or gauges their curiosity going forward. But still make it so it's like for instance, Des, you and I, we just chop it up, right? You add value to me, I add value to you, but it's like I don't attach myself to the outcome of how it's supposed to look. I just know that I'm showing up, giving value, and it's like, hey, I just want to see you succeed, And if at that point you choose to, do business together, you choose to break bread with me, it's like, hey, great, If not, hey, bro, this is for you, So really going into the conversation like that, I feel like allowed me to stay in a good position throughout, where I was still able to add that value, still able to show my credibility, who I am and all that. But, still made it about him, didn't make it solely about me. Like I could tell he was trying to switch it up and make it about in the beginning.
Yeah.
He's a business owner. Cool. Every business owner sells.
Mm-hmm. Playing energy is so crazy, bro. Like it's wild. And I think this is so important in terms of like with viral loops, because, in the last episode, guys, if you remember, we talked about like the best viral loop is just a raving fans, right? People who just love your product and your service so much because you over deliver so well that they just share it with their network. They refer people out to you. I mean, that's just a natural loop, right? Because you execute, you do well, and you get rewarded with exponential growth from the work that you did, right? And energy is also plays a super important role in that, because
huge.
The result is one half of the equation, but the experience is the other half of the equation. Was it fun getting those results, or was it like pulling teeth? Right? Like, oh, you got to the goal, but if it was hard and it was like, oh my gosh, like I was so miserable, like I don't like you're great, but I want to forget that you exist. Or is it like, oh my gosh, that's so much fun. Like they're going to church talking about you, right? Telling all the people in your church, right? If some of you guys go to church or not, but the grocery store, right? Like talking to someone in the grocery line, they're having so much fun with you, making so much money, you're getting so much good results that they're telling strangers about their experience.
You want to have so much fun with somebody on a call that they talk about you while they're in bed with their wife.
Pillow talking. Yeah. Oh, that's next level shit. Yeah. Man, that landed. You want that?
That comes from experience. That was feedback that I got from somebody one time. I was like, "What? I talked about you when I crawled in bed with my wife." I was like, we need to discuss boundaries. He's like, "No." It's like, she asked me why I had such a good day, and I said, "I bought something that made sense for the first time in like 6 months." And she was like, "Well, that's finally." No joke. Most hilarious one-liner I've ever heard from a client.
Let's go.
I talked about you when I crawled in bed with my wife. I was like, well, hell. Okay. That works.
Oh man, that's so good. I might have to add that to the title. I am. That's good. That's good. Man, I'm getting fired up, guys, because this is good stuff here. So the play side of things, right? So what else we got? We got the stay in the game side of things, right? So staying in the game is vital, right? So Josh, bro, let's just unpack this, man. How many times in the last 10 days did you want to get out the game? Get out of this fun game that you're playing? How many times you had to enroll yourself to stay in the game?
You said out of the last, what?
10 days or 2 weeks. 10 days or 2 weeks, either one.
I'd say probably 20 times in the last 10 days.
So 2 times a day you had to stay in the game. You had to enroll yourself to stay in the game.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Dang, I was like,
your clients.
Every day. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Your clients as well. You have to enroll them to stay in the game.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because sometimes it's not going to be nothing to do with you. It's going to be what?
Everything to do with what they got going on in their business.
Yep. Everything can be going
their business,
great, but
their personal life, everything. And here's a little secret. Like, here you want to talk about like blatant fucking honesty. Here's a little secret. None of us go through every day, not one of us, every day, not having to enroll ourselves in staying in the game. Entrepreneurship is hard. It's meant to be. If this was easy, everybody would do it.
Yeah. I feel like I enrolled my like this month has been like a roller coaster. And
a big
even
one
the
for
deal
you,
that
actually.
yeah, even the deal I just extended, like my contract I extended was like I enrolled myself to stay in the game. I enrolled myself to accept money. like what? Right?
The master of money had to enroll himself in saying yes to somebody else's check.
Yeah, and enroll. And now, yeah, you know, so it's like staying in the game, right? It's so important, like the delayed gratification. I mean, now we're getting deep into staying in the game, but like, you know, it really comes down to delayed gratification, right? Like, can I say
topic.
yes, take this next step, and wait? Right? Like, I'm consciously making a decision to wait and execute at a high level at the same time.
What's the benefit in it? Let's talk about that, because this energy is going to lead into the segment that I'm going to talk about when it comes to viral. What is the benefit in being conscious about, yep, I have to enroll myself, and now I have to hurry up and wait? To use a military term that about half of the audience will probably understand.
Rank and file?
Nope, time and grade. Time and grade.
Yeah, man.
You always say rank and file. I'm like,
I don't know why, but I don't know
you're
why. But
committed to it being about rank.
Maybe my unconscious mind is telling me something.
The only way you acquire rank is time and grade.
Yep.
Time in your current place. It's called what? How do they say it in the like the movies and the advertising? Paying your dues. There we go. Same concept. The military has a system for how quickly you can advance based on how long you have been in the service. And it keeps it from being, I can advance because my parents paid for it, or I can advance because so-and-so said so. It makes you do it on merit. Now, enrolling yourself and staying in the game also has a lot to do with merit. Has a lot to do with merit, has to do with completion energy, and it has to do with being so committed to your craft and knowing that even when it's fucking shitty, because I challenge somebody to bring me a craft that isn't shitty sometimes. I dare you. If you call me wrong, I will take you on vacation with me, because it is impossible. Every craft is shitty sometimes. But when you're so committed to what you do, and you know that no matter what, you do it well, like there's no amount of that energy. You can't buy that energy. And there's no amount of it that you can't just create it either. You have to be patient. That patience pays off when you re-enroll yourself in staying in the game. What do you get, Josh?
You get a dub.
Exactly.
And it gets better.
Go.
Maybe it gets better. Let's go. Oh man, this is unreal. Yeah, you know what's wild? You know what's crazy about like staying in the game is you'll eventually reach a point where you get stronger as you go. It's like in basketball, you know, like you just, even though you're getting more and more tired, but it's a fourth quarter is the best quarter. It's your best quarter because you just get energized, right? Because you're just so deep in flow. Like, I don't know about you guys, but like there's been days where it starts off like usually the days where like it kind of starts off weird and funky, but it just gets stronger, right? Like it's like in a sales call, you get stronger as the call goes. The energy just like you get more tapped in, the rapport is getting deeper. Like you turned out like, dang, you're just on the phone with a person for 90 minutes answering buying qualified question, right? Oh man.
Okay. Ish. Fair-ish.
Fair-ish.
Yeah.
It's all subjective, but I love I love when the energy just keeps like it's like oxygen into a
You're
fire.
being a hippy dippy motherfucker right now. I'm like, where did this
Oh,
little
man.
son of a bitch go? And what did you do with my human?
I am, man, I am just on one today, guys. I'm on one today.
All sorts of
I'm on
feelers.
one.
Jesus. Well,
Oh my
so
God.
to tie A and B together, like securing the bag is absolutely tied to the idea of viral loops. And we left off last time. Leave off last time. It takes notes.
We lost one on we left off really with the case study. So we talked about like, for instance, like Notion and like pretty much like the tactics that they use. And we went into a little bit about like how important product market fit or service
Natural
market
loops.
fit. Yeah.
Yep. What are the natural loops inside of a business model? Okay.
Yep.
I can pick up from there.
Yeah,
what?
go for it.
No,
I was gonna say also say integrated. So like how people integrate like viral loop, like scale into their offering, right? Like for instance, Slack, the only way you can use Slack effectively is by inviting your team members, right? Like if you're the only one in there, you can't use Slack. So you got to invite everyone else. So then they invite everyone else, right? So it just grows organically because it's like the only way to use it is to, share it. Also like getting people, PayPal using like getting paid, right? Like the only way to get paid on PayPal is someone out, right? Also, there's also like, we can get into the coaching space where, I think we talked about this with NFTs a little bit too, but like, I've seen this happen a lot where you give last minute tickets to people who are attending an event and they invite more people to that event, right? Because all you care about is getting eyes in the room or butts in the room because you obviously have usually more ascending products. I know that at different summits and conferences and events, butts and seats, right? So integrated. So I mean, I'll let you lead this because this is your zone of genius, but it'll be fun to kind of talk more about viral loops today.
All right, so we're gonna pick up kind of where we left off, which was Desmond very, very strongly attempting to go down the if this and that, like the revenue response track to it, and me defiantly not answering any of his questions. So natural viral loops are the funnel or the customer experience process that somebody goes through to become a customer with you. Now, some of them are loops, some of them aren't, some of them can be. Almost every business model can have a loop in it. Not everyone. Some of them don't work that way. And we're not going to talk about the ones that don't. But when it comes to building a viral loop, it has everything to do with enrollment, customer experience, and satisfaction, product satisfaction. Does anybody have any quips to say about those things?
Keep going. Tap in. Feed me.
All right. Feed me. Why am I not shocked? Well, so in the past, like historically, people would present and prove their value in order to gain somebody's trust. Now, as technology grew and we stopped, acting like Neanderthals, that became not a thing. It became then like, I'm going to trust someone else's opinion of you that I don't know, not somebody that I talk to, not the neighbor down the street, not so-and-so's wife across the way, but I'm actually going to read a random stranger's review. And I'm going to make a determining factor of like my initial determining factors about how I feel about you, your product, your company. Now, when somebody does that, two things happen. A, depending on how close that source is, a trusted advisor will gain more leverage Someone could hate a product. And if somebody that they have an immense amount of respect for is the one that enrolled them in it, it will take them 10 times longer to back out. Okay. Similarly, if the person that enrolled them in it is nobody, then that shortens the timeline tenfold. That's why you see who, you guys can raise your hand. You don't have to say something because I can't see you, but who here has ever heard about the washing machine with subscriptions? Yeah. So any sort of subscription product runs on, they roll on what we call a washboard. Like if someone can sign up and cancel without talking to you, then it's a numbers game. All it is an advertising and numbers game. It's not a client retention game. So that's the opposite side of a viral. Viral loops are a client retention based game. They are not a marketing and advertising game. There's no amount of anything you can pay for that will make it work. It works on human power. The human condition controls all of the metrics. So some of the best quote unquote viral loops are, I'm gonna stick to like fashion. So in the fashion and like clothing industry, you'll see somebody set up a pre-launch, drop some sneak peeks, send out products to a handful of well-known human beings, and then if they like it, those human beings rave. Now, all this is prior to a launch. That is one of the most successful versions of the viral loop because it is a natural based trust. It's called a known trust factor. So famous people, known, we know who they are. We're not going to mistake somebody for being a famous person. They just are who they are. That known trust factor, and immediate enrollment based on the fear of missing out. Hey, I have this great thing for you. Let me give you what I have. Of course, I want to have what you have. I want to be around you. No part of that sentence had anything to do with metrics. It was all human condition. People want to be in the same spaces. People want to be around. People want people. People don't want stuff. People want people. People want people's approval. People want people's opinions. People want people's trust. People want people's friendship. People just want people. Products are, and product services, anything you sell is a byproduct. It's like the bonus in the deal. Okay. So when you put together a viral loop, the three things you have to pay the most attention to are product delivery, fulfillment, your customer experience, pre-sale and post, and then your customer support. All right, Desmond, we're going to use the guinea pig. Touch each one of those things, rate yourself on them, and tell me what you're missing. Because you have 2 items that you're missing right now.
So you mentioned your product. All right, you have to run that back. So it was like 6 things at once.
So there are three main areas that you have to focus on in order for a viral loop to work.
Yep.
Your product delivery and fulfillment.
Mm-hmm.
Your customer experience pre and post sale, and your client support.
Client support. All right. Yeah. Okay. Because I counted 6, but I guess it's 3. So product delivery and fulfillment. Okay. So I will probably rate myself 1,000. I'm joking.
No, 1 to 10.
So product delivery and fulfillment. I'll say I'm a 10 on that one. I like to over deliver. I feel as if I'm over delivering. I know that
I'm just gonna acquiesce to you. Over delivering doesn't make that number go up. For what you sell, and yes, I still rate you as a 10 for what it's worth. For what you sell, and like what you say and what you deliver, it's how product delivery is how close does that match? Because there's always a gap. I don't care who you are or how good you are. There's always a gap because what we say and what people hear are different. So how closely aligned are those two things? And then fulfillment being the other side of that coin. How well do you fulfill?
Yeah. I would say probably 10 on product delivery. Fulfillment is a fucking pain in the ass. Completely, transparent. Systems, I think that like some attention, I won't say it's some attention to detail, but it's definitely not sometimes the smoothest on fulfillment. I would have to say, I hate saying 7 because it's an outlier. It's like you delete it. I would say a 6 on fulfillment. It could be definitely better. I can have a project manager or someone. I could do better. I don't know. I'm trying to give myself some constructive criticism here, right? I'm trying to beat myself up a bit because I don't want to give myself all
I want you to come off the cuff quickly out your gut. I don't want you. You're not here to
thinking about it. All right. I really feel like I can't answer that one straight in terms of fulfillment because I don't know what I'm comparing it to in my head, right?
Metrics. So business is good numbers. So if you're looking at fulfillment, so when it comes to what you sell, what you say versus what you sell, you give yourself a 10, and I gave you a 10.
No. Yeah. So I'm just gonna leave that as a 10 because I feel like that's not the issue.
Yours is dialed in.
The customer experience.
I gave you a 6.
You gave me a 6. All right, great. I'm cool with that. All right, that's fine. I already gave myself a 6.
Constructive criticism
on each one as I go down, or what?
Sure. You get to be more engaged with re-enrolling people into being committed to their deadlines. Your problem in fulfillment isn't you. Your problem in fulfillment is your client. Every time you miss fulfillment, you miss it because somebody didn't turn something in. Somebody didn't get something done. And it's not somebody on your payroll. So the skill set that you can build on that it's a speaking skill set. It's an enrollment skill set.
Yeah. I'm like 2 weeks behind on a project because if a client can't fucking get their stuff together, but it's okay. We almost there. Okay. That's interesting. Okay. Customer experience in pre and post sales. I will have to give myself customer experience pre-sale to be quite blunt. It's probably a solid 8. It's either a really great conversation or some people are just like kind of fire before we even get to a conversation. For instance, someone introduced me to some. Go for it.
This isn't about vetting. So client experience pre and post sale. So
like they're already a customer.
Nope. So customer experience, like possible customer experience pre-sale. How urgent are you? How committed are you to getting on the phone? Are you always on time? How is your follow-up? This is logistical. That's what that's rated on. Pre-sale, your client experience is how flow are you? Is your shit squared away? Okay, post-sale, how connected are you?
Oh yeah, okay, I got this.
And is your waterfall running, or are you fucking off? So try again.
Yep. So customer experience pre-sale, I would have to give myself probably a 5. And post-sale, I have to give myself a 10, as crazy as that is. I could definitely, in the beginning, I'm just super, I'm not, man, how do I put this into words?
However, it's in your head.
So I'm pretty direct, I guess. And it's like, I don't chase people, right?
I know.
And I don't chase. Like, I'm not going to beg for business. I'm not going to, like, it's like, so like, I don't chase and I try to be super clear. But however, once the bag is secured, like, we're running like as fast as humanly possible. And I'm really good at organizing the actual delivery of what we're doing. Like, immediately onboarding, immediately let's get the strategy done. Immediately we're doing this, we're doing this, we're doing this, we're doing this. So that experience as well, that I'm all about, like, I have this, like, I pride myself having a sensory acuity to, once I'm noticing a gap, like jumping on a call and like talking through it so that we can kind of get through it. Maybe I need to do it better in terms of doing it, recognizing it sooner for fulfillment. But usually my customer experience is good because they keep giving me money, right? So I know that I'm having a good post experience, but I don't chase people before. And maybe I can get better at that. I don't know if it's more of, I need to ego check myself, but.
You want some feedback?
Sure.
Because
it might land, it might not.
You're yammering. That actually surprised me. Because when I score you on pre-sale, I put you at an 8.5. While it is not inside of your sales process to chase a customer or to constantly push that button. That's a sales tactic. That's not an experience thing. That's definitely a sales tactic. You don't choose to. Now, for what it's worth, and just ponder this. Do you think maybe it has to do with hunger?
You said hunger?
Mm-hmm.
Like, as in, like, what? What do you mean? Unpack that.
If you're dying of hunger, don't you think you chase people a little harder than when you're not?
Absolutely. Mm. I am hungry, but I'm not starving. It's different. Starving. If I was starving, starving and hunger are two different things.
You're not committed to being a fat kid. You ain't being greedy.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't chase people either.
I know
and I don't have any problems on my pre-sale. I do it when I feel like it. When I do something, I do what I say I'm going to do. I just rarely say that I'm going to do much.
Yeah. So yeah, my customer experience pre-sale, it's, I guess if I include not chasing people, that's why I gave myself a 6. Like, you could tell from the vibe. You could tell from the vibe that someone is like a good fit or not. And I don't want to get, So, all right, client support. Okay. Wow.
I'm going to have you breathe right through this, because customer experience and client support are like 2 separate continents and countries and systems. Just different. They do not overlap at all. So in the rating and grading, do not try to overlap that with what happens pre and post.
Client support. Okay? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Just trying to.
What does client support mean to you, Josh?
Man, you're probably going to grill me for this. Customer support for me has been just how you engage them through the process of going through your, I guess, funnel in a way. How you get
going through what you're selling, your product.
Yeah, how you get them from start to finish. Yep.
Okay. Yes. And you guys, Desmond, you said the name of a software that used to be one of these things. AI bots are built around them now. They have FAQ pages. They are what? I want to punch you in the face, buddy. What is it?
Oh, what is the software company or what? What do you like?
I said we've talked about a software that used to be one of these. They AI bots are built around them. FAQ pages, they are what?
FAQ pages, they are what? Jesus,
help desk.
Riddles on help desk. Boom, there we go. You just over here telling me riddles, man. Like I wasn't prepared to answer riddles today.
I don't care what you're not. You should be prepared for anything around me. You know better. The rules are always come prepared.
Okay.
Either come prepared or buckle up. So
cool. I'll give myself
client support is everything, Josh, that you said, plus help desk. Like, hey, I don't understand, or I can't find my email, or I think I was supposed to get a B, a C.
I'm a solid 11 on that for sure. Solid.
Okay.
And here's my reason why. I think that's actually my strongest suit in my. I know you said the customer experience is on two different things, but like that's the thing that I feel as if is my competitive advantage is I'm so able to give like real time like play by play or unpack or like real time like game, right? Like for instance, today I get an email about something. I give like, yo, we're doing it this way. Boom, secure the bag secured. Yo, hey man, I gotta jump on a 15-minute hot consult with you real quick. I gotta talk. A sales rep wanted to book a 15-minute. Yo, so here I gave him literally the play-by-play of what was going to happen. He said, "Bro, what you predicted just happened." Is like, you know what I mean? Like that is my sauce, secret sauce.
That is your secret weapon, and it will become your Achilles heel.
What because I can't be everywhere at the same time or something like that. Was that what you're gonna say?
You can't duplicate Desmond.
I know, right? That's what I'm struggling with right now. Is
no, you're not.
No. In terms of like, I don't want to create a super crazy product like a course or anything like that because I feel like I don't want to get into this conversation. I maybe will save this for another pod. But
yeah,
like
you just don't want to get coached into it right now. It's cool. I did not fall off the motherfucking turnip truck yesterday. Your customer support is, I can absolutely confirm with your 11 for sure.
Yeah.
And your why, it's spot on.
I don't fuck around with like delivering. Now getting together might be some like, we got to see a little fit, but like once the bag is in and obligations are on paper, then it's just all about executing. And it turns into a fun game. Full disclosure. Right. I won't forget this one time I called Heather. I was in Austin at the time, in a hotel, like on a trip for a conference. And I was like, yo, Heather, I have this idea. I want to create this sales hotline company or something like that where people could just call or like, jump into a live meeting and like get like, bring their deals to the meeting and get immediate like plays. Like, yo, do this. Follow up. She was like, she gave me a homework assignment and we're still on ice. But I just thought that was funny, so I wanted to bring that up. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I mean I'm laughing because I had forgotten all about that.
Yeah.
All about it.
Yeah.
Now here's where this all spins up because it's all connected to whether or not you can effectively run any form of viral loop. And they come big, small, left, right, 1 step, 3 steps, 354, I think is the longest one I've ever seen. 354 steps in a client enrichment funnel, which is a viral loop. Yep. Fucking ridiculous. There are some massively complicated stuff out there and it's awesome and it works. But unless you can rate yourself somewhere from a 7 and up in all areas. You will have anything under a 7 is going to cause holes in your funnel. Not to mention the fact that you have something very similar to post-production that is attached to a viral loop that if you don't execute will make the viral loop null and void. Okay, questions.
Wow, you got me thinking because I'm like, I low-key want to play. I just want to play an experiment.
Why am I not surprised?
With fucking around with the viral loop of
I also want to learn to fly.
I mean,
But
you can't just
last
take
time
a
I
pilot
checked,
license.
I have my pilot's license. That doesn't count. Last time I checked, like spontaneous flight with no wings doesn't work yet.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to test this theory, you want to play with it just for the sake of playing with it, causes what?
Pain.
No, wasting my fucking time.
Which is pain.
No. If something is that trivial caused me pain, I would need to literally rethink my position in the world.
Mm-hmm. I was thinking of like crashing and burning, like, you know what I mean? Like, then just like falling on your fucking face and you're just like, Jesus, what did I get myself into?
To test this type of theory. And
let's do it with NFTs.
No. Proven business model. You don't have that. Try again.
No NFTs?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
You cannot test, you cannot play with this with NFT. You can't put new cookie and new cookie in the same box. That will be moldy cookie. You can put new cookie and old cookie in the box. And that would be happy cookie. That really did not come out well. Cookies are not the right piece for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you have to use a like tried and tested, proven business model that already has traction and already has a it doesn't have to be a fire hose of leads, but it has to have a constant, not consistent, but a constant lead source.
Just do the pod.
Well, yeah, we already are. I already built that. You can't test that. I'm not going to let you test something that I've already solved. That's silly. You're going to test it on your own little
I don't like
creations.
So here's my issue with the agency. I like don't want to scale it. Like I just like I don't want. I guess yeah. I just don't want to scale it. That's just like how I know you don't want to
scale it. Why? But why?
Why?
Your greatest strength is your Achilles heel. Why don't you want to scale?
A ton of work. Way more like I guess the fear. I wouldn't say the fear, but really just like a ton of work.
Yeah.
I'm traveling the world. I like the quality versus quantity approach.
In order to scale what you have now, you would have to invest something more valuable than money.
Time. A lot of my time.
You can't beg, barter, buy, or steal. Time. Nobody wants to invest more time in the same outcome just to make it bigger. That's not how. Like, okay, if I give you 10 hours, it's going to be this big, right? 20 hours, it's going to be twice the size. Nobody wants that. Nobody will scale a business like that. Now, a year ago, maybe a little over a year ago, you came to me wanting to scale. And I told you no. I told you figure out who you are. And we've spent a year here. you came to me wanting to be me and you wanted to scale, like kind of all in the same breath. Let's be real. And teaching you to be me, I was absolutely overjoyed to find a mini me, somebody who might grow up to be me someday, because I don't have any intention on doing this forever. And also, you wanted to scale out of the gate. It's normal. But can you scale something if you can't see the framework that it's supposed to be next? Nope. But by using not so much for customer acquisition, but for customer interest, use a viral loop for customer interest, and then a relatively specific survey style funnel, you can figure out what people are willing to fold on, where they're willing to flex, to allow you to take a customized model and turn it into a standardized one. And there's your big red bow for the day. Because I just tied your growth, his growth, and every rambling right back into a viral loop. Mic drop.
Man. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Well, we're going to end on that note. Unless you got something to say, Josh. What you got to say, bro? I'm asleep on that. I'm still different. Yeah.
I'm just soaking stuff up. It's almost like next level thinking for me. So my mind is kind of just like, but it's one of those things where I know that at some point that will be part of. At some point, I will be in this position. That you're in. It's a great position. On top of that, it's
sooner than you think. If you are questioning whether or not I'm going to kick your ass,
I know you are. I'm just. I'm just taking the time to admire the process of like seeing Desmond's growth. Because like you said, the one of the things that stood out to me that you said was, he reached out to you a year ago and wanted to become you and scale, and how you told him to take a step back and to find out who he is first. I feel like I'm there right now, so that's why I'm saying like I'm just kind of breathing it in and just like taking all that in, because I'm like, man, I've seen Desmond's growth over the past 3 years. Like, let's be honest, so it makes me smile to see it. And it's like, man, like, because last year, even like when we were getting together, just rapping about different things and all that, it's like I now see that he was doing, because I was like, dang, this man's doing everything, bro. Like, dang, Josh, you ain't doing nothing out here. Like, what is he's over here doing? NLP, he's doing this, he's doing that. And I realized at the end of the day, it's all a part of his becoming, so I'm just taking the time to like actually like revel in that. Like, man, like you've now entered Heather's funnel.
You're in the funnel. Yo, it's funny. What's funny, man, is like all this talk, I'm just going to journal a ton about all this stuff. And then I'm going to write out like what, I guess, Heather, I haven't done this one thing yet where it's like, write out like, what would I want not, like what would be a disservice to the world if I were gone tomorrow that I didn't get it, right? That the world would be, you know what I mean? And so I'm going to write about that, and then I'll see how that applies to this discussion. And because I need to like really figure out, okay, why am I going to scale or like grow the hell out of this, right? It's not because of money, right? It won't be because of money. You know what I mean? Like that's not the thing that's going to have me jump off the cliff again. If that makes sense. I don't know if this is landing or not, but
yeah,
it's like that internal engine. It's that internal engine. It's not like, oh, I want to buy a Lamborghini. That stuff can only get you so far, but it ain't that. It's not about like securing the bag or like envy or like, oh, I want more people underneath, you know what I mean? I want more groupies or it's not that. Like I need to like really sit down and like, really at the core belief of like, what do I feel as if the world is going to miss out on if I don't give it to them, and allow that to drive it, that energy and that like intention, drive it. So I'm gonna sit on that. I'm in no rush, obviously. Still, Heather, I'm sitting on my hands for 2 more weeks. No major decisions.
Beautiful.
So we're not making any major decisions on the pod today. Other than we might do an NFT project. Hopefully I can enroll Heather to do it with me in Q3. If I come up with a plan, maybe I can enroll you, Heather. I don't know. But
you never know.
Today was great, guys. I had a lot of fun. Josh secured the bag. Kate make this stuff up. Who knows? I might scale a company and we might do a live on the pod. Also, Josh, you're 4 yeses away from being in the same position, dude. Wait till we get you in these performance deals, homie. Your next one's gonna be a performance deal. We're gonna talk through that one for show.
I mean, in full transparency, I almost did it for him because I knew, because he as soon as he said webinar, and he's I want to run a 3-day webinar, like, quarterly. Hey man, okay, 4,200 plus 15%.
Bro, here's the game. You put a performance incentive in it. Whatever you'll base it, like whatever you're gonna charge them, like you're gonna charge them. But then you just add, like you're just adding money in there for yourself. Right? Like you're sharing in the profits, right? And then you make sure you add in your additional services in the contract, right? Like put your upsells in there. So additional shooting hours is X amount. Additional videos is this amount. And then you need to make sure you add an extender in that bitch. Excuse my language, sorry, audience. But make sure you bleep that out, Zoker. Make sure so it's an easy rollover. And then you should also have your payment received on auto pay. So you're not sending out invoices and chasing money every month. So there's a quick game, bro. That might end up turning into a fat contract over a year. So
I believe so. I mean,
soak that up.
Yeah. I received that.
But welcome, guys. We're at the end of the show. If you made it, we love you. You're great. Hopefully you got a lot of value from the show today. We talked about a lot, and if you feel as if this resonated with you, feel free to share it with your network or that special person that's like, man, this person needs to hear this. And like always, like, subscribe, review, comment, send us an email if you want to come play on the pod. Just requests. We'll start adding guests here soon, but for the moment, we're just playing in public and providing as much value as humanly possible to you guys. So like always, it's great, and we'll see you for the next episode. Bye.
Bye.